this video, I want to discuss with us what we are to expect in this series. What are we covering? What are we learning? That is exactly what I want to discuss with us in this video. We're going to be covering about 10 modules altogether in this series, and we're going to be looking at security essentials. We want to basically understand, what is security? What are the things we need to look out for? And also, we're going to be looking at the OWASP top 10. Very important. We're going to be looking at it because that list is updated, I think, almost every year. So the recent one should be about a 2025 list, which, will have some changes and all of that. So we're going to be looking at that. We're also going to be looking at the application security scanning. So you talk about SAST, you talk about detecting false positives, how you can do that. And of course, this is where we also look at some, AI, how AI can help us to accelerate things and ensure that, we're not marking what is not right as wrong, and all of that. And then, of course, we look at vulnerability management and remediation. We look at SCA dependency scanning. We look at secure CD pipeline. And also, we're going to be looking at the concept of GitLab autoscaling. Now, in one of my videos, I already talked about GitLab runners, how you can deploy GitLab runners, with Terraform and all of that. But then there's also what you have, which is the GitLab autoscaling, because if you have just one runner, what if something goes wrong with that runner? All right. And of course, you also want to think about the cost as well, because at the end of the day, when you are deploying, when you're building out an infrastructure, you have a lot of things you want to consider. You want to consider cost, reliability, and a whole lot of other things, right? So we're going to be looking at how GitLab autoscaling can help us to save cost. All right. At the same time, ensuring that anytime we need a runner to run a job, right, we can always get a server to do that. So we're going to be looking at how we can put spot instances in the mix and how we can set it up, from ground up. Then, of course, we're going to be looking at secure Docker image as well. And we're going to be looking at Amazon Inspector. Now, Amazon Inspector is not a free service, so it's going to cost us a little bit. But I think it is important for us to learn it, because if we just want to stick with the free resources, then it means that there's going to be a limit to what we can actually explore and learn. So if you're considering cost, not that we're going to be careless and just, leave things running, no, but we are going to be spending money in such a way that it helps our learning. Okay, and that's what we're going to be looking at Amazon Inspector. And we're also going to be looking at how we can integrate it into the pipeline, which is you can actually use Amazon Inspector on your CI/CD pipeline to scan your Docker images and then, generate reports and publish that also to a vulnerability management platform as well. So we're going to be looking at all of that. Then we're also going to be looking at infrastructure as code, Terraform, and we're also going to be in this module, we're going to be looking at the Terraform HCP, which is the ArgoCD Cloud platform. We're going to be looking at that. We're going to be looking at how you can connect that platform with AWS, with OIDC, a whole lot of stuff. So we're going to be looking at state management and some other things that we're going to be looking at, all right, in that module. Then, of course, we're going to be looking at Kubernetes security as well. Particularly, we want to understand how you can map your IAM role, all right, with your Kubernetes role, the RBAC, your cluster role, your role binding, and all those kind of things. We're going to be looking at all that. Then we're going to be doing a deep dive, all right, into application release with ArgoCD. Very important, because you don't want to be deploying directly to your Kubernetes cluster from your terminal or from your CI/CD pipeline. You want an application, you want, a platform to do that for you, and it is important for us to do a deep dive into this, because with ArgoCD, you can actually deploy to multiple environments. If you're managing multiple environments in Kubernetes, production, development, all of that, ArgoCD can actually help you to do that. And the beautiful thing also is that whether you're using a pure YAML file to deploy, whether you're using Helm chart, whether you're using customize and all of that, ArgoCD can actually pick those files in your Git repository and deploy it into your Kubernetes cluster. It's as easy as that. So we're going to be doing a deep dive into that. We're also going to be looking at policy as code. All right. Like I mentioned in the last video, policy as code is, primarily about you want to prevent wrong deployment. Okay. Because, for example, if somebody should update a YAML file and push it into the Git repository, now ArgoCD cannot tell if that YAML file contains an error or whatever. What ArgoCD will try to do is to reconcile what is in your Git with what is in your Kubernetes cluster, right? But we want to be able to stop that, right? We want to be able to prevent that. So even if ArgoCD cannot, detect, we can have policy as code, we can have some kind of, policy admission controller, all those kind of stuff within your Kubernetes cluster that can actually check the YAML file before it is deployed by ArgoCD and then determine whether to reject it or to accept it. So that way it prevents, wrong deployment and all of that. Okay, so policy as code is very important. And you can also use it within your CI/CD pipeline as well. And then we'll look at the concept of secrets management also. How do you manage your secret with AWS Secret Manager? If you have API keys that your application needs to talk to, maybe you have an app that needs to talk to Stripe payment gateway and you have an API key and you want to store that securely. Of course, you don't want to add code that API key in your code or in your Docker container and those kind of things. You can have this API key in secret management. And then what we want to look at is how can your application connect to AWS secret management to pull that secret at runtime, and then your application can access it, function, the way it should function without necessarily exposing your secrets. So we're going to be looking at that. And lastly, we're going to be looking at service mesh with Istio and compliance as code. We're going to be looking at all of this. So there are 10 modules that we're going to be covering. And so if you look at what we have here, it's a serious thing that we want to do, all right, in the series. And I really, really encourage you, all right, to take it very seriously, okay? Because, I don't say this to brag, but I am not sure that you'll find a DevSecOps series on YouTube that will be this deep and detailed. I don't think you can find that anywhere, okay? So stay tuned. It's going to be a whole lot, all right, that we covering. So 10 modules. There are certain skills that I expect because this is not like a beginner course. So certain things are expected of you, all right, in order for you to be fully part of this series. It is expected that you have experience with GitLab CI/CD because that's the CI/CD we're going to be using. It is also expected that you have some knowledge about Terraform because this is not a course where we'll be talking about Terraform resource, and also some experience are actually going to be helpful. Docker experience will be helpful. Kubernetes, Python, because we're going to be doing a little bit of automation. So experience with Python is needed. And of course, I expect that you create some of these accounts. So GitLab account, AWS account, SonarQube Cloud account, and Snyk account. So we're going to be using these platforms, all right, for learning and understanding. Now, I need to also mention that, you should have a budget of about maybe $50 to $100. Not that you're going to spend everything, but just in case. And like I mentioned, we are not going to be careless. We're not going to be leaving anything running, right? I'm going to show you once you're done with certain things, how you can stop it or delete it and then recreate it and all of that, so that you do not, pay unnecessary bills. So we're going to be looking at but just have a budget of $50 to $100, right? Because you cannot learn deeply if you do not spend. Okay, if you want to limit yourself to the free resources, free this and free that, there are certain things you will not be able to explore. But if you want to learn and you want to go deep, there you have to, spare some amount, all right, to really understand how things work in a work environment. Now, for those of you who might not be familiar with some of the skills that I mentioned, I have a few playlists on my YouTube channel. For example, I have a GitLab CI/CD 0 to Hero series on my YouTube channel. It's been a wonderful series. A lot of people have watched it and a lot of testimonies, on that. So the link is here, and I'm going to put it in the description as well. So you can go through that series to help you understand GitLab CI/CD. I also have a Docker series as well. I'm going to put all of this link in the description. If you're also interested in Jenkins, you can also check out the Jenkins playlist as well if you are interested in that. Also, I have a GitHub playlist as well where I've touched on ArgoCD and some other GitOps related concept. And also there are a few projects that I've done on Terraform as well. So the playlist is also here.